Salut, David Wallman here for Overloud.com, sharing with you how to process acoustic guitars in Overloud's TH2. The first thing we're going to do in our rig is add a compressor. The compressor is going to thicken the sound, it's going to give it a richer tone, and it's going to enhance all the frequencies that you get naturally in the acoustic guitar. For this, we're going to use TH2's VCA compressor. This is a really high quality studio compressor. A typical setting for an acoustic guitar would be to set the tack quite low. For this, I'm about 1/4. Increase the drive if you want to enhance the effect. For this setting, my drive is about 1/3. We're then going to add a chorus. The role of the chorus here is to give more space to your guitar. For the chorus here, I'm using TH2's wave chorus. You can play a little bit with the bandwidth of the chorus, which is going to enhance the modulation of the effect. For the sound I'm using here, the bandwidth is set to about 2/3. The higher the bandwidth, the more frequencies are going to come out of your instrument. That might be something that you want to consider if your instrument's bright is a little bit lower. We're then going to go through a reverb. Reverb is going to give more space to your mix. For this, I'm using a plate reverb. The plate reverb is going to spread the attack of the notes more naturally, giving you a smoother sound, more natural sound, which is what we're looking for acoustic instruments. After these three effects, you might want to consider adding a digital delay, which is going to personalize your sound a little bit more. Be careful when playing with the delay. You still want your instrument to sound natural. Too much delay might make your guitar sound too synthetic and kind of fake. Because we're dealing with an acoustic instrument, you want the tone to remain as pure as possible. You might need to affect a little bit the mids, the highs, the bass. So for this, we're going to use a parametric EQ. This is going to help you maybe remove the low rumble that you might get sometimes with acoustic instruments. You can do that by setting a high pass filter at about 80 Hertz. You might also want to add a little bit of highs. You can do this by adding a high pass filter at about 5 Hertz. We don't really need an amp or a cab here. Everything is processed directly in TH2, keeping the natural tone of your instrument. If you're playing live or you're recording and you want your guitar to sound richer, you might want to add a really special effect that is going to widen your sound and make it sound like there's two acoustic guitars playing at the same time. This can be done with TH2's space delay. You want to add the space delay at the very end of your chain because you want to double exactly the guitar that you have, including the effects that we previously mentioned. Because we're dealing with a delay, the sound you're playing is going to be repeated. That means that we have to have a time factor. And because this delay is used really to widen your sound, you want to set the time really low. All these settings can be tweaked. You can really personalize your sound with TH2. This was done with an acoustic guitar, but if you don't have an acoustic guitar, you can always use your electric with the same settings. The only difference is that at the beginning of your chain, we're going to add an acoustic simulator, which is going to kind of transform the sound of your electric pickups to sound more natural, just like an acoustic guitar. TH2 is an excellent tool to record electric guitars and acoustic guitars. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. This is David Wallman for Overloud.com. I'll see you next time, and until then, salut!